I think about going down and looking at fish and the marine life. I think about waves. I think about coral and fish. So my name is Jack, I'm 10, and for what I do for a living, pocket money. Well, going to school is pretty much the same every morning, apart from on Tuesdays, which I have trumpet lessons. Every 6 months we have to round up the sheep and drench them, and every 2 years we have to round up the sheep and drench them, and we have to vaccinate them as well. So we've got, I think, 4 sheep, off the top of my head, 3 alpacas, 4 chickens, and a dog. And if you count my sister as an animal, I've got a sister. Well, you don't have, you're not limited, so when, you can ride motorbikes and you can make a hell lot of noise and that neighbours won't notice. So I started biking about 4 years ago, and I went over to my friend's place and I borrowed his bikes, and then one Christmas I got my own Pee-wee 50 and I rode that for 2 years, and then my birthday last year, I got a 110cc motorbike, and it's been running really well for me. As for what I do, I've got a jump track, which I do jumps on, and I round up the sheep with it. It's gonna make me think differently about underneath the surface, so stuff you can't really see if you just looked down, from a boat. And if you hold your breath and go down, you see something cool happening, but then you need to go up. And with scuba diving, you can stay down there, and it'll just kind of open me up to a whole new world underneath the water.
There is nothing more rewarding than sharing adventure with the kids. Yes, I've done some amazing trips all around the world over the last 20 years, but nothing beats seeing your kids' eyes light up when they're on the side of a cliff or in a canyon or in a world that they just never would have perceived. So that's what my life's all about these days, being able to share adventure with my family.
Sometimes I think he goes a bit crazy. He does really stupid ideas. Probably the help of his friend Justin and just them working together. You do 3 times better if you were with somebody else.
Yeah, I think one of the things I love most about adventure is the uncertainty, and that is the definition of adventure. It's an activity with an unknown outcome, and to be able to now see my son having an adventure on something where I don't have any capability, I've got no capacity, I don't really even understand what life is like under the water, is going to be absolutely incredible.
I kind of feel honoured and a bit like you've done a lot of things, but now I'm starting to do things as well. I think it's going to be nerve-wracking at first, and then I think when I get more confident, I'll start to really enjoy it.
I think he is seeing this as an opportunity to step up and essentially be a leader. In the past, even though we've had adventures, I've kind of led him through those adventures, whereas now he's leading himself. It's his own adventure, and that's the most exciting part about this whole journey.
underneath the waves, there's they've got this blue, and then you can swim down maybe a metre, and you can kind of see a bit. But then when you're scuba diving, it opens you up to a new world. You can actually stay down there, and when you're swimming, you go down, maybe wait 10 seconds, then you have to come back up again. But with scuba diving, you go down, and you can go down really deep, and instead of staying under there for 10 seconds, you can stay under there for half an hour or an hour, so you can actually see things happening.
What I loved about this adventure was that it was 2 metres off the shore in Manly, in a place where I've been visiting since I've been a kid, and to open up a whole new world of fish and stuff underneath the water that I would have had no idea would have even existed. So to be able to see that stuff is pretty cool. You don't need to go to the top of Mount Everest or down to Antarctica or the corners of the world to experience adventure. It's right here, all around us. I'm sure there's people that have lived in Manly their entire lives and have got no idea about the beauty, about the uncertainty, the adventure that lies just waiting a few metres out from shore.
It was awesome! I loved it. It was like a whole new world underneath there. Like, there were heaps of fish, and we saw heaps of cool shells and cool stuff like that. Well, you felt as light as air, so you could float, you could go upside down, you could do backflips and front flips, and you could do it as such that you won't fall down. You can climb up a cliff, but on land you'll have the fear of falling down. But if you were to climb up a cliff underneath the water, if you were to fall, you would just float, and that's the magic.
With all the ocean travel that I've done, whether it be big yacht voyages and journeys, whether it be big kayak trips, underneath the water means death. That's like the dark place. That's where you don't want to be. That's the last place you want to be when you're kayaking from Australia to New Zealand underneath the water. And so I've never really had that much of an idea what goes on underneath the water. It's all about assessing what's going on the surface, what's going up in the air. And so now to be stepping into this world that I know nothing about is really exciting. I didn't really know what to expect, and there was this level of anticipation because my 10-year-old son had experienced something that I hadn't. And so he came out of the water with this big beaming smile on his face, and I was like, well, there must be something pretty cool going on underneath there. And it hasn't been the best of conditions today. It's raining, the wind's coming in, there's chop, there's swell, and so I really didn't know what to expect. And then as soon as got underneath the water and started taking a few breaths, it was like you've entered a completely new world. And to be in the middle and in the heart of Sydney, and to have 5-6 million people all around you, to be a few metres in the water, you're in a completely different world. You're in your own world, and it is absolutely incredible. It's so important for kids to realise that adventure can happen anywhere at any time, and it is totally accessible to everyone. And so for 10-year-old kids to be able to go in and see what's going on underneath the water, first off, it gives them an appreciation and a love of nature and the environment around them. Secondly, it gives them an awareness of there's more to life than materialism and buildings and computer games and stuff. And thirdly, one of the comments that Jack made when he came out of the water was, "Dad, there was so much rubbish in there." And so that gives him a connection to actually wanting to look after the environment and to, I guess, be the next generation to push the world into a place where it's a better place than when we left it.
I've got a better understanding of the ocean. It was heaps and heaps of fun. Well, I'm going to say that I went scuba diving and it was heaps of fun. And if you get the opportunity to do it, do it.